Hi. So today I actually have a special treat for you. I'm doing interview with my friend and colleague Tanya, and the reason why I decided to do this is because in this day and age, and also in the work that I do, actually meet so many wonderful women doing absolutely wonderful work. And as women, the best thing that we can do and that we are designed to do is to network, to share, to collaborate, to show each other, to celebrate each other. And basically that's what I wanted to do today here with Tanya. So if you're watching this, chances is you already know me. I'm an emotional well-being practitioner, coach, trauma integration specialist, and all of the things that I do are generally to do with emotional work and also empowerment, and most especially empowerment for women. So I will, instead of representing Tanya in my own words, I will open the stage now for Tanya to tell us a little bit about yourself and also what you do and how can you help women.
Hi, Ruta. Thanks for having me here and thanks for the amazing introduction that you made.
That's all right.
It's lovely to speak to you again. Thanks. So, yeah, I'm Tanya. I'm originally from Switzerland, but I've lived in many, many places, and now I live in Bulgaria. And my topics are money, femininity, cryptocurrency, spirituality, and alchemy, and especially for women. And in my opinion, this is all connected. So you asked me about how I can help women.
Yeah.
My online business is still rather new. It's been a few years, and you can find my website at discoveryoffemininepower.com. I teach women how to get into cryptocurrencies, and I mix this with femininity, topics about femininity, about the woman, the new woman that is coming now in the new age. I also make interviews with amazing women, just like you, Ruta. You are on there as well. And I have a free podcast as well, which has a lot of affirmations about money. And there's more to come as well.
Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I think that's why I wanted to share you with everybody else as well, because I think new world, new type of femininity. We also have a new way of dealing with money and with finances, and especially the new type of money, cryptocurrency. So I think, like me, everybody else would like to know how you kind of got into it. And one thing that I actually have read on your website, that in 2017 you had a decision point about the money, and I think probably more of us might be dealing with that. So can you tell us what was that shifting point? What happened then? What was that about?
Yes, I'm happy to share my story with you. So at the end of 2017, I found myself in a life situation I didn't really like and looked around and I was very unhappy. I was fed up actually. I was sharing an apartment with a girl I didn't like in a posh area of Lucerne. I was working there in winters and I was really unhappy to share and I was always running out of money. So that was the thing in my life back then. And in my head, constantly I would say, oh my God, I'm running out of money. I'm running out of money. And of course, if you keep repeating a mantra, it will get true and it will become true. And it was like that all the time. And I realized that, okay, that's it. I'm no longer accepting that. And I had already started a little bit to learn about finance back then because I wanted to find out why I'm always running out of money, right? And on the first, I remember very well, on the 1st of January 2018, so there is usually the big fireworks um, over the lake of Lucerne. I had an amazing view over across the lake, of course. I was living in the posh area. And I was looking at these fireworks and I said to myself, okay, that's it. I no longer accept it. And I'm going to do for 1 year, I'm going to study everything I can about money, about finance, about investing and all that. And that's how the whole ball got into rolling, right? It all started like this. And it changed everything in my life about finance. So, and the conclusion, which is really nice about here, and I really like to add it here, that I came to pretty quickly after half a year already in 2018, was that money has two aspects, right? It is the technical part. We need to learn stuff. We need to know how to invest. What can you do? How can you invest? And then on the other side also, there's a psychological aspect to it. And in my opinion, weighs just as much. So we have limiting beliefs about money that hold us back. Just like me saying I'm running out of money all the time, and it became true. So I started to discover these as well and understand that it's all connected also. And we need both. We need to work on both.
Yes, I actually agree. The work that I do is not so directly related to the finances the way it does in your work, but I can absolutely see, first of all, we are not educated about finances in the schools. It's maths, it's geography, it's physical education, history, languages, nothing about finances, nothing how to manage it, nothing about currencies. So that's one kind of like almost you can say educational gap. And also, you know, the second part that you shared about the unconscious beliefs and things like that, sometimes we don't even realize we picked it up from our parents, from our environments, and we sometimes spend the entire life never questioning why I have to kind of function like that. That's why I think the work that you do is actually so important, because it allows us to reevaluate it gives us basically second chance to have a relationship with the money, with the finances, with even making our own decisions how we want this to look like. So that's why I think, you know, the work that you do is actually very important and can be really life-changing.
Yes, well, it was life-changing for me, and I see so many other women who do the same, and they say the same. So it's all based on universal laws, actually. It has nothing to do with luck. You can learn it and you can eliminate limiting beliefs. We all have them.
Yeah.
It just takes time. And it's layer by layer, we go and clean them up. I actually wrote about this and the conclusion in my book, which is called Love Your Money, Love Yourself. It's available on Amazon. And I actually wrote the book already the following year in 2019, after having read the 50 books about
Oh,
money.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, lots more stuff. And in there, I explain how I also jumped when I was in so much fear that I was not trusting that I can do it. And even when I had no money at all, I was trusting that I am being supported. It's another limiting belief to feel that you're not supported by the universe, you're not helped, you're not being led to the right place, which keeps us held back. But if we have the guts to jump and go for our dreams and learn something new, for example, learn about cryptocurrencies or do something differently. If we don't have the guts to do that, we will never change. We will stay in the place. But once you do something differently, a whole new world is opening up and it's amazing. Looking back, I can say, wow, how did I even get here?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it takes courage to do that, and it takes trust to do that. I think the thing that you said about like being supported is really so important, kind of trusting about being supported that, and being kind of guided in the process. And I think once we become conscious that, oh my God, I'm actually not trusting the process, I'm not trusting me being guided in a process, and maybe it's something that I can do about. I think that's where you come in with your work, which takes me to the next question. So I would like to ask you about another thing that I read about you on your website. You mentioned that I was born to lead people into the new world. So what are your ways of doing that? How do you do that?
Yeah, so if you just roll back to what I said earlier, the trusting is an important thing. And as a woman, we're more connected to our intuition. And this is connected again to what is coming now. We're more connected, we're more aware of what is happening, that a new world is coming, a new belief system. Well, understanding what I just said before, that everything is connected. And if I say to myself, I run out of money, that will happen. And understanding that you can actually program everything. Life doesn't happen to you. You actually make it inside, and then it manifests in the outside. So that's the new belief system is coming. New money is coming. It's already here. And new ways of living. So we're moving into the Aquarian Age, they say. I really love astrology. I'm a big fan of it, and I just use it for myself. And in there also, it's all combined again with the laws of the universe. And I have recently come to understand what's actually happening. So we have the planets in the sky. They are fighting against each other, making oppositions. And because as above, so below on the earth has to do the same. So we have to play it out like a chess game down here as well. And shifts are happening. So this is the new world that's coming. People want to be more into nature. They want to eat good food. They want to be away from electrosmog in the cities, and all that. It's all that is coming now.
Oh, sorry, interrupt. I just wanted to add that I could feel, I don't know if you could feel, but I could feel that shift to the Aquarian age so strongly. I think in December, that was some final conjunctions that kind of really took us from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. For the viewers who are not so much into astrology, I just wanted to give a little bit of a background. So ages, the ones that we are talking about, are kind of coming in approximately roughly 2000 years time periods. So previously we were in a Piscean age, which was kind of started and signified by Jesus coming in, regardless of religion. That's not what we're doing here. It's more kind of to demonstrate the era that we've been in. So it was Piscean age, and since 2012 we started coming closer and shifting into Aquarian age. And last year, 2020, in December, there was one of the final formations that kind of thrown our solar system, our planet, us, into kind of pure Aquarian age. And I think this is not to kind of reduce what's happening in the world, but what you could see, there is lots of people leaving this planet. You could see there is lots of systems actually shifting. There are lots of systems are being shaken away. So this new Aquarian age that Tanya is mentioning is not just some kind of temporally solar shift. We're talking about the next approximately 2000 years. Sorry, I interrupted. Please continue.
No, it's good that you explain it a bit better. Thank you, Ruta, because yeah, I also see it like that. It's some kind of upgrade that is happening. And yeah, old things have to leave and new things have to come. And yeah, but it's all very, very slowly, and you might not even notice. But I can also, like now, or the last few months, I was really experiencing that more and more people are actually on the same page with me as well. I'm connecting more and more people, whereas in the beginning, in spring 2020, I could not see that happening yet. But now it's all coming in. So it just takes some time to come to fruition. And yeah, I see more and more people who want to be close to nature. And this is a funny thing, actually. So you asked what my role is in leading people to the new world. So when I grew up, I had so many interesting interests, so many different interests, also in my 20s and 30s, and still today. And to me, it looked like it's so random. I couldn't just do one thing. That's not possible for me. And society keeps telling you you have to specialize, you have to do only one thing, and so on. It was to such a big extent that I was thought, there's something wrong with me. Why can I not decide the one thing to do? Because there's a reason. I was born for this task. I am here to do all these things and combine them and to see connections. Not everybody is able to see connections, but I am, and I have learned this in permaculture designer courses. So I am also a permaculture designer and eco-village designer. So I am also here to create a new way of living, a new place to live physically. That's what we learn as permaculture designers. And that's also another project, another thing I want to do, not only teaching about cryptocurrencies. And yeah, I'm happy to speak about this on another occasion. Yeah.
Yes, I think it's great, you know. I think what you're saying, lots of people need to hear that, but because I think it's many of us who've been told that we need to choose profession and that's it. But many of us, I think those of us who are kind of Aquarian age women at heart, we were never meant to just do one thing. We were never meant to kind of do what society is telling us to do. We were meant to do our thing, and sometimes it's actually selection, multiplicity of things. And you know what you said, the way you see kind of like a patterns, how that connects to that. I think the same way, but in my field, like for example, in a trauma, it's like, okay, how does that was traumatizing? How that trauma is kind of like creating this reality. So I think this kind of like a ability to see, like in your context, I can actually see very clearly how that relates. The community, the design is kind of your supportive environment. What else is your support system? Your financial system, your money, how you find ways to kind of bring it into your life in a way that it's consistent and in a way that it actually works for you. And it's not based on an old system. It's based on something completely new, different, something that we have not learned to do before. So yeah, I don't know if you wanted to add something to that, or we can move. Yes, okay, please.
Add some more about this. Yes. So all these people in cryptocurrencies, and many of them, they are also into nature and they want to have a farm and living close to nature. That's why I say always that Bitcoin is inherently spiritual, because not only because we want that, but we want that because we know what the difference between normal money, let me just pull up like this, and crypto is. It's a $20 local Bulgarian dollar bill. This is issued by a centralized private corporation, and Bitcoin is different. It is completely decentralized, so there is no authority that can switch off the currency and say it's no longer valid anything, or they can switch off the network. It doesn't happen because it's decentralized and fully decentralized. And then again, that ties into the permaculture people, which have been around for 30, 40 years almost already, who actually have built the same network around the topic of permaculture. And it's also decentralized. Actually, permaculture is the largest aid agency in the world, larger than all the other agencies, but it doesn't have presidents, and it doesn't cost anyone anything because it's completely decentralized.
Mm-hmm. So it is almost like an example of how the power that is shared in between people and community looks like, how the system where the power is not coming from one point, but coming from the community, from the entire group looks like.
Exactly. And that's how Bitcoin actually works, from a decentralized network where anyone, you and me as well, can run a node. It's called a node. Mm-hmm. That will be a computer that is helping to hold the system up, is helping to keep a copy of the ledger of all the transactions and helping to confirm transactions. Whereas in the traditional Piscean Age money system, it's one entity issuing the money and saying, now this is the equivalent of this amount, right?
Yeah. So, so in this all context, and this all new age that is dawning on us, we are in it really. And by the way, for the viewers, just to kind of make a link, Aquarius, sign of Aquarius is actually to do a lot with humanitarian type of energy, with community type of energy. So Pisces was something that doesn't have a boundaries, and the extreme version, unhealthy version, would be unhealthy boundaries. And Aquarian is all about humanitarian, humanistic, new age, like really, really new inventions and that type of thing. So in that context, I wanted to ask you, so we have this kind of traditional woman, and we are familiar with how this, let's say, old role of a woman looks like. How do you see the new age woman? How is she different from how women are and live now?
I like that question, Ruta. And I was sitting there today thinking about it, and I came to my conclusion, which is that I think the new woman is aware of who she is, that she is a woman and she's a goddess, and she will be very connected to her body and her intuition. And this will be praised, that this is a good thing. In the past, this has been suppressed, it's a bad thing, you don't trust the gut feelings and so on, where it's still in our language, right? I trust my gut feeling because your gut is telling you when something's not quite right. That's called intuition. And the new woman, she knows what it means to be a woman, and she knows what the powers that she has as a woman. These powers and skills, let's call them skills, they have not been taught by our mothers, because for the last maybe 2000 years, femininity and all these feminine skills and essences and powers, they have been neglected and suppressed, right? So women have tried to copy men, to work like them, to be like them, and becoming very far away from being a woman, actually. And something happens also with the man, but of course we know that, but just looking at the woman, that's what's happening, and we've become too masculine. And I see the new woman emerging now, and there's more and more of us really embodying this goddess feeling and knowing how to talk to a man, how to seduce a man, and owning this feminine side, owning to receive as well.
Yep.
And trying to work like a woman, be a woman, and cooperate, which is what the main focus of my business really is, that to create the circle of women around the world. And we work like women, not like men. We stop copying men in our work, in our business. Yeah. So the men, they work like that. I'm better than you. But the women, the feminine is more a cooperative spirit. And as you say, it goes back to Aquarian Age, cooperative way of making business, because I'm not better than someone else. I am different, but together we can make the whole much more valuable than the one standing alone. Actually, that's also permaculture design teaching, that you have elements. Let's think of an element, like I'm an element, you're an element. Tina has another business, that's an element. Andrea has another element, and so on. And if we cooperate together and make a system together of all these single elements, which are amazing in their own way, but if we cooperate, we can create something together that is of much higher value than all the single systems combined together.
Yes, I really like that. I really kind of support that view, that and I'm very big on it as well, that we embody our goddess's energy. So we no longer pray for some god, offshore god. We are part of it, and we actually allow that energy and that kind of embodiment and even kind of that ease of living to come through us in a practical way, in a day-to-day life, not just kind of going let's say somewhere to pray for some kind of deity there and there. We're actually using that energy as women. We are able to access it via our bodies. And I really love what you said about us being kind of like a different elements, and together there is, I think there is a word called something like not when two energies come together, the sum of those energies is basically greater than those energies separately. So synergy. So we use synergy. And another thing is, competition is not really a woman thing. Competition is the thing of men, who is stronger, who is faster, and so on. As a woman, we are sisters. I see us as sisters, and I love what you said about capitalizing on our differences, capitalizing on the fact that we are similar, but at the same time, even if we both work with women, our specialization and our interest is going to be slightly different. We're going to have our excellence, our skills, our passion in kind of the same direction, however, in slightly different modalities. And when we add all of these bits together, we have like kind of this huge group of embodied energy. And that's much more than, for example, individuals of trying to do their own thing separately. So I really like how you explain that, even giving permaculture example.
Yeah, exactly. You rephrased it very well. So competition comes from a place of fear, right? When you fear that, oh, this other woman is going to take away my position.
Yeah.
And it's still very present.
Yep.
Everywhere. But you're acting out of fear of losing something instead of opening and saying, I can gain something.
Yeah.
I can gain. I always try to create a win-win situation for everybody that makes it better for everyone involved.
I think that's another kind of like a healthy feminine quality to use. As a woman, we, no matter if we have children or don't have children, we have a mother energy, and mothers, they don't take away. We kind of, how do we share our resources so that everybody's nurtured? How do we make the situation so that everybody is cared for? How do we kind of create this safe environment, safe and healthy environment so that everybody thrives. So yeah, I really kind of like, when I first found out that, oh my God, this is not how women are supposed to live, when I started to kind of learn about healthy feminism, I was like, oh, I felt so much relief, because I felt that working as a man is just not natural for me. It's not sustainable. So it's kind of like a refreshing to learn this new information and kind of have a different option after such a long time. It's like, at last, it almost feels like, oh my God, yes, I knew it.
Yes, you're right. It just drains our energy completely when we have to operate like men.
Yeah.
It depletes our energy as well as our feminine energy, and we start to look like men.
Mm.
For the woman, it's much better to be in the moment and be this expanding energy, right? So if you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video of me explaining this with nature. So
Right.
the man gives the earth, and then the seed comes inside, puts the seed, and needs to be nurtured and cared for and watered, and out comes a beautiful flower. And the flower is effortless because she's just in the moment. It's not a struggle to grow. She just is, because she's in the moment. So that's the more the feminine energy is expanding and being in the moment, right? Yeah, the feminine energy is receiving.
Yeah.
So, and the masculine is the giving, right?
Yeah.
That's why actually women have vaginas and men have penises. So the man gives the seeds to the feminine, to the woman,
Yeah.
and this expands into a child or a project. It doesn't always have to be children that we create, and we expand. So the feminine essence is more this movement and being in the now, and the masculine is going forward, and spreading the seed. And that's all. That's how they work. They go to wars, they fight, they do stuff, and we are more in the being. And together we create this beautiful flower or baby, a child project. That's why you often see couples doing so well together if there's really a disbalance of energy, and they can be so powerful together, much more than separately.
Yeah. I can definitely feel that, let's say, in my relationship now, that after a long time I'm in a stable relationship, I can feel that effect. So I actually wanted to then ask you your opinion of what are your best tips for stepping into this empowerment for women.
Yeah, so being more in the moment is always a good thing to do, to practice. I'd say if somebody has no idea what to do, then meditation is a good starting point. That helps you to be in the now and to follow your trust and your heart. I think the meditation can access the voice in here, and then we will gradually learn how to listen to it and act on it. So women do have this intuition naturally, most of us. And when we feel this intuition, just understand that you're not weird, you're not crazy. This is very normal, and you are very fine-tuned for this. Inherently feminine skill. You're supposed to use it. What I do every day is to be more and more, now that I live in Bulgaria, it really helps to live in such a country in Eastern Europe, or maybe even in Asia and Africa, not so developed countries. Actually, that helps you much more to be in the moment and act from the moment and the heart and live from the heart. So every day, my day-to-day life is that I always check with my intuition. Does that feel right to go to this place now? Does it feel right to go there now? Of course, I do plan. Sometimes we don't plan, but I do plan. But even if I feel it doesn't resonate so much with me now to go to this bar or this event, then I don't. And usually the answers come at the right time if we are able to trust. And I think I think it's very hard when you have been living on the masculine side for so long. It's really tough to start trusting that everything comes in divine time, to start trusting that you will be helped, and to start receiving, right? Receiving. When you receive from a man, you will become more feminine. It just boosts his testosterone, and it boosts the woman's estrogen, and the estrogen makes us more feminine. So
Simple biology. Yes.
What do you say?
I say it is kind of like biology. You can see how these states are actually intertwined with the biology that we have in our bodies. Estrogen is feminine hormone, and it cannot really be there in a healthy amounts if we have too much cortisol or stress. So, and we are not really able to kind of handle stress in the way that men are. This is not to kind of minimize women or anything. It's just to talk purely about biology and our biological makeup. So, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So stress is very bad for feminine energy, for women especially. So I try to avoid stress, and even if I have a tight schedule, I always tell myself it's okay, everything will be in the right timing, and it always works.
Yeah.
So actually living on a Greek island for 5 years has helped me tremendously to handle day-to-day things like that, because you are forced to. You cannot go with a Western mind on a Greek island. It doesn't. The clock doesn't work like that on a Greek island. Neither in Bulgaria.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it depends on where you are. That's how the clock works. So even now that you are in Bulgaria, I know that you are doing the workshops, which is the other way of helping women and helping to lead women. So can you actually, and because it's online, so anybody can access it and anybody can join. Can you tell us more about these workshops that you are doing, and how have you created them, and you know what it covers?
Yes, I'd love to. So I want to start with a little story again. So in 2016, I had heard about Bitcoin so many times already that I was ready to buy. And I went online. I still remember how I sat in my room. I wanted to buy some, and I just couldn't figure out how it works. It was so technical and so difficult for me. I ended up not buying. I always thought, okay, I'll try to get back to it later because I can't understand it now. But then eventually forgot. And then came the end of 2017, right? So that was when Bitcoin went up to $20,000, one Bitcoin, $20,000 for the first time. And everybody was going nuts, everybody was going crazy. And that coincided also with my, with my frustration about money. Maybe the one thing led to the other. And I realized that, damn, I missed the boat. I wouldn't have to work anymore if I had figured it out back then. So I went off in 2018, learned about money and also about cryptocurrencies a lot. Have been studying every day ever since, and I kind of solved my own problem. So I learned how to get into crypto. I learned how to hold it, how it works and all that. And now out of this necessity, I see how other people struggle, because it's still kind of technical today, even though we have many solutions, but it still takes some effort to learn it, to know how to deal with it. And I solved this problem teaching women. I only teach women online through group calls or one-to-one if they want. On Zoom, I teach them what is cryptocurrency, what do you need to know, How can you spot a scam? What are the basics? How do you keep your stuff safe? How do you stay safe online? Um, how can you buy? Where can you buy? And then how you need to store it. Bitcoin also needs to be stored in a wallet like that. So you need to know how to create this wallet, which is not physical, it's electronic and all that stuff. That's how I teach, and I do that in webinars online. It usually takes some hours to go through it. It takes some effort to work, but I give you all the tools. And after 2 or 3 of those webinars, you can manage the stuff yourself. And that's how I always led, also in the back. When I was younger, I lead to give you the tools, you learn it, and then you go off on yourself.
So from what I understand is not kind of rocket science. All women can get it. All women can actually understand it, and if we want it, we can actually make it work for us.
Yeah, you just have to know the technical things, learn how to manage it, how to make a transaction. It's just a new money system. You can learn it, and what what women like about my courses is that actually you get additional support. Once you've been in one of my webinars, you get added to a special VIP group, and in that group we speak to each other. I help you through Telegram, I answer your questions, and we connect with other women from around the world, and they all love this. So I actually even prefer the group calls myself, and they do that too, because they get that additional support. And I meet so many amazing women like you, Ruta, as well, through my courses.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, I am someone who is very much interested in this new money and new way, and Tanya is my go-to person because I know her, and she's very accessible, and she can explain things in a human language. She's not lost into technical terms. She's not lost into kind of financial jargon. She can actually do that in a very kind of accessible way. So
That's
yeah,
very true. Yeah. Can I add something here?
sure. Yeah.
That that's true, right? In the beginning, when I started with crypto, I didn't understand all these words, and I was like, "Oh my God, how will I ever understand?" And also, when we are only women, we are kind of on the same level and more accessible. Whereas if it's a man teaching us, he's trying to boast, yeah? He's trying to impress the other sex, using a lot of fancy words, and we don't dare to ask. But when we are with women, there is much less, the hurdle is lower to just ask something if you don't understand. There's nothing wrong about it. And sometimes in the crypto space, when there are only guys, it can be a bit rough. So
Yeah, I experienced that myself. I think when I first showed interest in the cryptocurrency, then I got this kind of like a sharks, selling sharks hunting me, asking me to invest the money. And at some point because I was doing, that listening to my intuition, I was like, this is scary. I don't want to go there. I'm just going to pull out all of my resources because it's just scary. I feel like I'm being hunted down because somebody wants to invest my money. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I prefer this to be kind of much more at my pace rather than having someone. And I think that's why I prefer working with women, especially on this topic, because I feel that we understand how we understand. We understand how we think, and we understand how to help each other understand how these things work in a way that we don't need to go crazy and get overwhelmed and kind of like a scared of the whole thing and then just move completely out.
exactly. I think what you just said about this person trying to hunt you is very important. So we're already in lesson 1 now. If somebody says they want you to invest, give them money, or they will hold Bitcoin, any cryptocurrency for you, invest for you, already you know it's a scam. Cryptocurrency is decentralized. You are your own bank. You are responsible for your own stuff. Nobody else can take it away. It's permissionless. It's only you are responsible. And you hold the keys. You hold the password to your wallet. And only the one who holds the password owns what's inside. So be really careful. The scams are everywhere. And I speak about this in the first lesson a lot, how you can spot them. So never trust anyone who says, I'm going to invest for you, I'm going to hold it for you. That's not how crypto works.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I think if anybody is interested, that's already kind of first tip to kind of not to fall into something that, you know, might cause lots of harm. However, apart from the whole cryptocurrency and kind of empowerment via new money, as kind of like a final question, I just wanted to kind of like open up so that, you know, viewers can understand your kind of intention. So what is your wish for the new age world and the Aquarian woman?
That she can arrive into the now again and be more in the moment, and that she can do what she loves and fully blossom with doing what she loves. We have been in our head for so long, and due to these social conditionings. And if we can manage to hear what the heart is saying again and listen to it, this will change everything.
Beautiful. I'm like, I mean, we are on the same track with the different horses. Yeah, I so resonate with that. Thank you, Tanya. So I didn't want to keep you for very much longer. I just wanted everybody to kind of meet Tanya and also share Tanya with you, and also share what Tanya does, because if you know, you might also benefit from that. This is definitely where I am also interested to kind of putting some of my security in and creating security for myself. So if you are someone, you know, I'll put the details under this video in the description. Feel free to contact us. Feel free to shoot questions. Feel free to comment and share your experiences. And also another thing about Tanya done series of interviews with amazing women, and you know, each well, I'm one of them, so obviously an amazing woman. but at the same time, like with like really many amazing women who have amazing skills and incredible skills and amazing, like I don't even know, I just use the word amazing, like skills, like something that I would never dreamed of, like, oh my god, this is happening. There are women who's doing this. Is like just beautiful to actually learn that about our sisters and our colleagues, Aquarian women. Also Tanya's book, if you wanted to get it, is on Amazon. Once again, you want to love money, love yourself.
Love your money, love yourself. Yes.
Love your money, love yourself.
Yeah, we can link that below, or you can find it through the website. But yeah, go and have a look at my interviews. I really like my interviews, and I like to meet all these amazing women, and they have, as you said, amazing insights, and it's happening. We're right in the middle already. So the divine feminine is re-emerging, and the divine masculine as well. And there's so many women around like me who do the same.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Tanya, for your time, for agreeing to share your wisdom with us and participating in our course. And have a nice rest of your day. And everybody who's watching, let us know what insights did you got from this. And if you want to hear more, we are happy to come back at some point in the future.
Yeah. And if you want, if you need some assistance about crypto, the website will be posted below, and then most and fastest accessible through Telegram.
Telegram is the new thing.
Yeah, we can also link my open group, so you can join that.
Yeah, I'm part of it as well. So I think anybody who wants to kind of just to be of all of this happening and already start connecting with other women in this, you can do that via Telegram.
Exactly. Okay. Thank you very much for our talk, Ruta.
Thank you, Tanya. It's
Nice to
just
meet you.
amazing to have you here.
I'm pleased myself. It was a great interview.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.